every conceivable level. I'm not saying this is just standing here. As a matter of fact, I would like all of those things. Ooh, yeah. So I think that actually. So please, I don't want to take too much advantage of one family, but if you were willing, it would be actually a very important conversation to have, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You're doing the good work, as they say. That's it. Hey, I try. I try. All right. Hey, me too. Yeah, exactly. Me too. We're all in the same boat on that one. That's for sure. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Oh, thank you. And it was okay in the recording. I wasn't sure how all those clips of things was a little bit off. Yeah. That's the challenge of without having Zoom's not ideal for singing. Put it to you that way. This is a much better setup all around for sure. But unusual. We do well with unusual though. I think kind of our expertise. Oh, did you get this mailing also? Mimi got it too. She gave it to me. Jerry just got it. That thing that you gave me on Friday night, Mimi. Jerry just got the same thing in the mail. So, yeah, I'm talking to you, Mimi, because remember you gave me that thing that came to you in the mail. Yeah. So what I said to Mimi is, no, it's not. It's stuff that people have said actually for a long time. It's not new. But the thing that I said to Mimi that always concerns me is there's not a single name mentioned on this committee of concerned people, and that always worries me because I don't have any idea then to whom to tie the agenda or whatever it might be. But it's a real concern. It's a real concern. So I have to investigate a little further as to what exactly is going on. Yeah. Yeah. No. I look again. It's that's for sure. So one thing that I noticed, which is a mistake on my part, is about the notes for here. So I think we should still. This is the end of a reading, just to give you a break from Benemar for Ashkevenu. I'll do that reading. But there should just be really a segue, I think, to Saleno instead of another reading.
So what I'm planning on doing, actually.
Oh yeah, tell me what works for you.
The Matan Shemecha.
Yeah.
Transitions directly into the first.
So
I was planning on.
Perfect. So it's a segue anyway.
So I just
and we don't have to do this reading. I just figured it might give you one little break there.
That'd be great.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good. So we'll keep it at that. Everything else I think was right on. And again, our only this way would be so that's it. Let me just get you a chair so you've got.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm gonna go grab my towels.
Yes.
Water. I should read the just
Endeavor to start off. Tomorrow morning is more of a big deal. Better. Already on. Yeah, so you shouldn't have to do anything to it. It's just there. I'm sorry that if there's a rush, you can try to get much time to keep your voice. I know you're a consummate professional. Oh! You're a man of your word. You're a man of your word. Thank you. I'd also like to get you some kind of lady into your thing. That's pretty impressive. You're impressive guys. They really are. So I'll put it on my bedtime reading list now.
That's amazing. Great. There's just this one section here that I don't think it's a bigger little lesson. Okay, I don't know what that is. As in, in the first note, I was hunting that note. We're good. Yeah. One thing. So I want to make sure that we have the same version. And again, that was one thing that I was going to make. Then I do. Exactly. That's it exactly. I might just move the tempo back and forth. Other than that was the one thing that I was like, we should have done. Everything else.
Feeling good?
This here?
No, I just put this here for initiating round.
Okay. Sure. I have this. Here, I wish.
All right, so you're all set. And one feeling I'm not sure I quite love it. We had decided to call you up and then we have a reading, or something that I'm going to read while you're making your way up here. So, where are you from? Russia. Candles are here. If you need any help reading it, I can do the lighting. And then you just come right up here, and I'll have this big frame one right here, and you're just doing the Hebrew and the English of just those candle lighting, and just Yom Tov Yom Shabbat. Just have a good time. That's it. Easy. Yeah, you know, it's your husband that has the harder job tonight. You know, he'll do great. He always does. He always does. I'm sure that you did. You know, I know he's got. It's a great partnership on every conceivable level. It's a great partnership. But thank you for doing it, and thank you for everything that you do. Oh, you did? Oh, wow. Right, it's like a list of things that I need to be more up on. Which year? All the South End Press? Because we get this, does that then appear in the Sag Harbor Express, or it's only in the Sag? Because we get the Sag Harbor Express. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. All right. You know, I guess it's my. That would surprise me, but at least the contrast could not be more stark, right? And she's. No, right.
So you should all be set up.
That's good. That's very good.
All set up.
That's exactly. It's sort of it's always a balancing act, you know. All right, Lashana Tova, everyone. If you're still standing up and you're in the room with us, if you could start to find yourself a seat, and if I can ask one thing of you in this place, Achat Shalti. If you didn't see the signs when walking in, if you happen to have a phone on you and it's not yet set to silent, it would be appreciated if you could just take a moment, set it to silent. I'm going to do the same thing. We'll make sure. All your family will be texting you afterwards, I'm sure. No problem.
Okay. If you make reservations, that will be Monday
Now's the time.
at 6:30. We're going to get started now. Okay.
Shana Tova, everyone. It's nice to be able to say that and hear it back. You know, that is really, we have to take moments to celebrate the small things for sure. And I want to welcome, of course, all those who are watching us from home, from many, many parts of the country, and in some cases even the world. We really welcome all of you to this space, and it's just so wonderful to be able to celebrate this new year with all of you. And of course, a big welcome to our new student cantor, Kevin, who has already become a big part of our community and has been practicing and preparing. And of course, a great gratitude at the outset to our incredible accompanist, Kirsten, who has been with us now. Kirsten, I ask you every year, how many years now?
I think it's 21.
Okay, we're gonna go with the 21 at least, so we can go out for a drink after the service then. That is good. But really, this high holidays, it feels different. It feels powerful. And yes, we are not in our temple, but we are in this remarkable space, gifted to us in so many ways by a welcoming community. And for all of us to really be able to appreciate a moment like this, where while we're not fully back to where we want to be, we are making those steps in that direction. And there is much to celebrate. And there is much to contemplate, much to think about, especially our place in the world and where we are to make an impact. And over the next few days, we are going to do that work together. Those with us here, those watching at home, all of us together united in a care for community, a care for country, a care for Israel, a care for the world. I want to share with you just a quick opening idea that was shared with me by Rabbi Tali Adler, who is on the faculty of Hadar, which is an incredible seminary and learning space in New York City. And she writes in an article called Breaking the Cycle, Creating New Time, that the idea of a new year is not intuitive. Time, she says, does not lend itself naturally to the idea of new beginnings. Days and hours follow one after the other without natural demarcations. While we know that the earth cycles through the seasons, there is rarely a day that announces itself as radically separate from the one that came before. To take a day and proclaim that it is the start of something new, that time has suddenly separated in an appreciable way from what came before, is neither obvious nor easily believable. We wake up on days when time splits itself into new years, on birthdays, on anniversaries, on Rosh Hashanah itself, generally feeling remarkably unchanged. But sometimes, on rare occasions, we wake up from what feels like an endless cycle of repetition and see things in a way that allows us not only to believe in the possibility of a new year, but a new world as well. With these thoughts in our minds, it is my great privilege and pleasure to welcome up the co-chair of our Social Justice Committee, Andrea Klausner, to light and bless our Yom Tov candles, which we can read together first on page 11. And I'll just say that while this honor is given to Andrea for her individual work, I know that Andrea would join me in saying that this is also to thank the Social Justice Committee, your co-chair, Alyssa Peak, and all of the participants who have made the Social Justice Committee such a huge part of our community and done so many important things in the world that we share. So thank you, Andrea, for representing the group. And I'm going to help light. You're going to read the blessing in just a moment. Let us all read together just on the top of page 11. The first mitzvah in the Torah is let there be light. So we are commanded in everything that you do, be a menorah, a bringer of light. Live with honor, act with integrity, do your work with passion, and the radiance of your deeds will live after you. May our ideals burn bright, forever unextinguished, and may we live our lives like the flames we kindle, always stretching upward, striving for the good, reaching for you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov v'tzivanu lahad l'kner shel Yom Tov.
Amen.
Source of blessing, eternal our God, you fill the universe with majestic might teaching us holiness through sacred obligations, giving us the mitzvah of bringing light on this festival.
We'll join together for the Shechianu on page 11 towards the bottom of the page.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Let's read responsively on page 12. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven.
Season of the soul, a time to rejoice, a time to reflect, a time to return.
A time to gather round the table with loved ones and friends, a time for song and silence, for prayer and confession to open the heart, a time to retreat to our sanctuaries within, a time to renew the life and spirit of our community.
'Tis the season of attentiveness, a time to notice what has unfolded and what has not, time to regret, time to forgive, time to remember cherished dreams and high ideals erased by reality.
This is the season of hope. Like mist rising at sunset, like dew descending at dawn, our hopes beautify and nourish everything they touch. Our hopes make us partners in creation, pursuers of peace, people who aspire to a world of justice.
This is the season of awe. When our eyes behold it, may we feel blessed. When we turn toward each other, let us feel strength. When we seek the holy, may we find purpose. May we find courage. May we find love.
We turn to page 15.
תקעו בחודש שופר, בכסל יום חגנו, כי חוק לישראל הוא, משפט לאלוהי יעקב, משפט לאלוהי יעקב.
We turn to page 16 and we offer a few moments of silent reflection.
הנני העני ממעש, נרעש ונפחד מפחד יושב, תהילות ישראל, באתי לעמוד להתחנן לפניך, על עמך ישראל אשר שלחוני, ואף על פי שהניח ידי והוגון לכך, לכן אבקש ממך אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק Elohei Yaakov, Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Elohei Yisrael. Shaddai Ayam V'Nora, Hayena Matzliach Darki, Asher Ani Holech La'amod U'Levakesh Rachamim, U'Levakesh Rachamim Alai Ve'al Sholechai.
We turn now to page 19 and we rise as we announce the coming of the new year. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, yehi ratzon shenizkeh levirchotecha, bishnat chameshet alafim sheva ma'ot u'shmonim v'shalosh, Elohei olam barech otanu, ve'et kol beit Yisrael b'chidush yamenu, b'simcha u'v'shalom, b'nachama u'v'ometz lev, b'chilutz atzmaot u'v'ruach eitana, yehi pri sefatenu mekubal v'ratzui milfanecha, Bifros Hashanah Chadasha La'ad Moadim Anachnu Lach Al Matanat HaChaim. Our God and God of our ancestors, may we know your blessing in the year 5783. Eternal One, bless us and the whole house of Israel with renewed life, happiness and peace, comfort and courage, resilience and strength. May the words of our hearts be acceptable to you in the new year that stretches before us. We are forever grateful for the gift of life. We'll now rise or remain standing as we turn to page 20 for the Baruch Hu.
Hamevorach, Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We're now on page 22. We'll read together in English beginning at the bottom of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai, your great name fills the universe with majestic might. Your word creates twilight and dusk, as your wisdom opens the gates of night. Your discernment separates the changing seasons and causes the passage of time. The stars arrayed across the sky reveal your design. You roll out the cycle of darkness and light, shaping day and night. You sweep away day and carry the world into nightfall, setting day apart from nighttime. You are God of all we can perceive and all that is beyond our perception. Living, eternal God, be our sovereign to the end of time.
Uma'avir yom, umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uvein layla. Adonai Tzevaot Shemo, El Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Vaed. Baruch Ata Adonai Hamahari Varavi.
Amen. We turn now to page 24 and we'll read together in English in the middle of the page. Love beyond all space and time. Your love enfolds your people, Yisrael. You receive it in your teaching, your gift of Torah, sacred obligations, discipline, and law. Let us speak these teachings when we lie down and rise up, and find joy forever in your Torah and mitzvot. They are the very essence of our life, ours to ponder and study all our days. May we never lose or be unworthy of your love.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen. Page 26.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please join us on page 28. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Page 30. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We'll turn now to page 34, very top of the page. Witness to this historic and heroic might, the people thanked and praised God by name, freely accepting the reign of heaven. Then Moses and Miriam and all Israel sang to you this song of utter joy.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע הים לפני משה ומרים. זה לי אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי ודע אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך שמו,
גאל ישראל.
Rosh Hashanah in the pines. Darkness settles slowly across the horizon. The new year rises before us, its fragile moon waiting our embrace. Heaven and earth entwine in their annual dance of recreation. A fissure appears in the firmament tonight, an entranceway into new beginnings. Out beyond the swales, the sea expands and contracts, keeping time to the thrumming of the universe. Under this Rosh Hashanah sky, the path before us is uncertain. All we can do is hold each other tight as we make our way home. Hashkivenu, page 36.
Vashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom V'ha'amidenu Malkeinu L'chayim Ufros aleinu Sukat shelamecha V'takneinu Beitzah tova milfanecha V'hoshienu leman shemecha Uferos aleinu sukat shlomecha Baruch ata Adonai Haporei sukat shalom aleinu Ve'al kol amo Yisrael Ve'al Yerushalayim.
We'll now rise in body or in spirit for the Chatzi Kaddish on page 40.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה בעלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון ובימיכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה ולעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ואמרו amen.
We'll remain standing again in body or in spirit as we begin the Amidah together on page 42, and then from that point continue silently. As always, please go at your own pace, and if you're standing at the end, you may be seated. Adonai sefatai yiftachu fi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
say shalom bimramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
We turn now to page 72 and we'll read together as we offer this prayer of healing. I also invite us to think of those in our lives, those that we're connected to, and those around the world who are suffering at this very moment. And as we read this prayer on page 72 and as we join together in a minute with the Mishaberach, we extend our hearts, we extend our prayers, we extend our hopes for those who are in need of healing to find that healing. May the Eternal One who blesses all life bless and strengthen all of us who struggle against illness. May we, whose lives are touched by illness, be blessed with faith, courage, love, and caring. May we experience the support and sustenance of family, friends, companions, and community. May we be granted restful nights and days of comfort. We pray for Refuah Shlema, precious moments of healing, and a sense of wholeness in body and soul. May those who care for the sick, with their hands, their voices, and their hearts, be blessed with courage and stamina. May those who pursue healing through medical skill and knowledge be blessed with insight, patience, and compassion. May all of us, the sick and the well together, find courage and hope, and let us say together, Amen. And we'll skip a bit further forward in our prayer books to page 245 to offer our Mishaberach. Sheperach avoteinu kor habracha la'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheperach imoteinu mekor habracha lavoteinu. It's those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We turn now to page 74. Avinu Malkeinu, strong was the faith of generations before us. In exile they proclaimed enduring hope. In the shadow of persecution, they affirmed a transcendent love and compassion. Ours is a different age, less confident and certain, more tentative in its trust. There are many who say to the works of their hands, you are our gods. But when our worship centers on our own creations, we feel less gratitude, more doubt and despair. This is the paradox of our spiritual lives. We grow smaller in self-exaltation, nobler when we reach for you. On this night of return, let us find the humility to come close to you and open ourselves to your presence. For you are absent only when we fail to make room for you in our hearts, distant only when we turn away from you. Now, as others have done before us, let us overcome doubt and speak these words of affirmation. We call you Avinu. As loving parent, forgive our wrongs and failings. Accept us in our human frailty. We call you Malkeinu. As sovereign of our souls, help us rise from our brokenness to build a world of shalom. To this vision, we offer ourselves anew. We rise as we turn to page 77.
Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu Lifanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chamol Aleinu. Ve'al olaleinu v'tavapeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, kalei dever v'cherev v'ra'av me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, kalei kol tzar umastin me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, kavodveinu B'sefer Chaim Tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, Chadesh Aleinu, Chadesh Aleinu, Shana Tova.
Please be seated.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu masim, Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu. Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed. Aseh imanu tzedaka v'chesed v'hoshienu.
Cantor, you can have a seat. L'shana tova, everyone. So I want to begin with a story. The story is of a new rabbi having their first high holiday experience and getting up in front of the community. And as some of you may not realize, one of the great things about being the rabbi is you have the best view in the room. You can see everything that's going on. Not to make you self-conscious about anything, but just to say. So this new rabbi looks out and notices that a congregant has gotten up, has found their way over to the president, who happens to be sitting at the back of the room helping, as our presidents tend to do, and says rather loudly to the president that the air conditioning must be turned down because it's too cold. The president kindly nods and he takes care of it. A few prayers later, Rabbi notices, same congregant gets up, walks back to the president, and says to the president, you know what, actually it's too hot, so we need to turn the air conditioning back up. And not long after, too cold, then too hot, back and forth, as you can kindly imagine. So at the service is over, the rabbi goes over and speaks to the president and says, I'm very impressed with your skills, with your patience in handling this individual who kept complaining about the air conditioner. To which the president responded, "It's really no big deal, Rabbi. We don't actually have an air conditioner." But in my experience, says the president, there's a thin line between davening and kvetching, so who am I to say no? Whether we call it kvetching, griping, grumbling, lamenting, bemoaning, remonstrating, or just plain complaining, there is no question that expressing dissatisfaction is a uniquely human art, one we have quite honestly mastered after 5,783 years, give or take a few. I don't think I can recall seeing the deer complain about the rain or the ducks about the noise. The animals seem to take it all in stride, but we as humans seem to lose our minds at the smallest inconveniences. And let's be honest, and this is a season for honesty if there ever was one, if complaining is indeed an art, then our people are perhaps the greatest artists who have ever lived. We are truly the Leonardos of lament. It's partially because we've been doing it for a really long time. Since really almost the very beginning, in fact. The Torah is full of examples, the book of Exodus being chief amongst them. Our ancestors pray to be freed from slavery. They literally cry out to God to be freed from slavery. And then a few chapters down the road, they complain about no longer getting the quote-unquote free leeks, onions, and meat they had back when they were slaves in Egypt. They then pray for sustenance. They're in the desert, there's no food, and God provides magical and endless manna. And then they complain about a lack of variety. Just come back when we read the book of Jonah next week. It's basically a masterclass in grumbling, a Torah of kvetching, if you will. But my new favorite example comes from the Talmud. And I'm extremely grateful to my colleague and my teacher, Rabbi Mary Young, who is the senior rabbi now of Woodlands Community Temple, where I interned before becoming your rabbi, who pointed me towards this particularly brilliant section of Masechet Sota. It goes on for quite a bit, but just to give you a taste, it begins as follows. The Mishnah states that Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel says, in the name of Rabbi Yoshua, that from the day that the temple was destroyed, there is no day that does not include some form of curse. Rabbah says, each and every day is more cursed than the previous one. From the time when Rabbi Meir died, we're told, those who relate parables ceased. These are important things that rabbis were known to do. From the time when Ben Azai died, the diligent ceased. From the time when Ben Zoma died, the exegetes ceased. From the time when Rabbi Akiva died, the honor of the Torah ceased. And from the time when Rabbi Hanania ben Dosa died, people of wondrous action ceased to exist in the world. From the time when Rabbi Yehuna Hanasi died, humility and fear of sin ceased. And from the time when the second temple was destroyed, the Chaverim, the free men and women, were ashamed, and their heads were covered in shame. And people of action dwindled, and violent and smooth-talking people gained the upper hand, and none sook, none asked, none inquired of the fear of heaven. In other words, for the rabbis writing at this time, the world is basically at an end. With the loss of the temples, the loss of each great rabbi, the world for them became darker and darker. In response to this litany of loss, the Gemara poses a rhetorical question. But, say the rabbis, if everything is in fact deteriorating, if everything is the end of everything, then why does the world continue to exist? Gemara answers, and they say, because of the sanctification that is said in the order of prayers, and by the response, Yehei Shemei Rabba Mevorach, let his great name be blessed, and so on. What is the rabbi's answer? They say, in the face of the loss that is being described here, all of the complaining, the kvetching, the feelings of destruction, when all of that is faced, what is the answer? What is the thing that sustains us? What is it that keeps us going when all else is taken? It is our prayer. It is our words of prayer. It is our sitting just as we are sitting tonight, as Jews around the world are sitting tonight. This is our response. Now, I think it's important to note that what the rabbis are complaining about in this Masechet, these are real and serious losses, real and serious issues. They're not complaining about airline cancellations or the barista at Starbucks messing up their name for the millionth time. And it's also important to note that as important as prayer is, it's not magically going to bring answers to our greatest problems. What I believe the rabbis are saying is that although it is natural to feel despondent when the world around us is on fire, it is not acceptable to live in that headspace. And moreover, that prayer, real, meaningful prayer, is what brings us perspective, patience, gratitude, and hope. All things necessary to prevent us from giving in to the kind of despair that leads to ceaseless complaint. Prayer also gives us a space and a time to focus on the things that really matter, to strip away the selfishness, the greed, the pride that cause us to make mountains out of molehills, focusing our attention on vacuous and unimportant matters, while ignoring things that are worthy of our anger, our attention, and yes, even our complaining. The challenge to us is to know when our complaining is self-serving and when it serves the greater good. The fact is that kvetching is not inherently a bad or evil thing. It's simply a question of what it is that we are kvetching about. The fact is there are things we should be complaining about, things we not only have a right to complain about, but an obligation. There are indeed things we must be dissatisfied with, things that are so wrong, so egregious that to keep silent would be a sin. In a world where a lie is called truth, and truth a lie, we have not just a right but an obligation to complain. When our highest courts of law have become tools of oppression rather than a seat of justice, we have not just a right but an obligation to complain. When children are gunned down in their classroom, we have not just a right, but an obligation to complain. When warmongers and demagogues send millions fleeing from their homes while sending hundreds of thousands more to die on the front lines, we have not just a right, but an obligation to complain. The list goes on, but it is a reminder to us that we have a choice to make with our limited energies and time. We can waste them on meaningless and frivolous things, or we can use our Jewish superpowers for good. So for the love of God, if you are going to exercise your kvetching muscles this year, stop complaining about the little things, the minor inconveniences, the occasional screw-ups. Instead, place your dissatisfied energies towards the things that are actually worth raising hell over. I want to close my remarks tonight with a quote from Rabbi Alan Lew, who has written a very remarkable book that many of you may have read, This is Real and You Are Totally Unprepared. Great title if there ever was one. And he says as follows: every moment contains a blessing and a curse. Everything depends on seeing our lives with clear eyes, seeing the potential blessing in each moment as well as the potential curse, choosing the former, forswearing the latter. So in this new year, let us together commit to living our lives with eyes on the blessings and to work to limit our often petty and unhelpful complaining for things that are truly of little consequence. Instead, let us focus on the matters that are worthy of our collective attention, to transform our kvetching to righteous indignation. And let us use the power and potential of our prayers on these Yamim Noraim to refocus our energies and to truly become the change we want to see in the world. Lashana Tova Umetuka B'Shalom. May it be a year of sweetness, of peace, of goodness for all of us and all of God's creation.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol eit ubechol sha'a bishlomecha. Besefer Chaim beracha v'shalom, beracha v'shalom ufarnasa tova, beracha v'shalom nizacher v'nikatev lefanecha. Anachnu v'chol amcha beit Yisrael l'chaim tovim ul'shalom. Baruch atah Adonai osei Hashalom.
We turn now to page 78. We lift this cup for the year that is gone, for mountaintop moments and the taste of joy, celebrations shared, milestones met, all we've mastered and achieved since last we met. For wedding rings, tears, and kisses under the chuppah, new babies, first words, and first steps. For the children who bless our homes and bring life to our community. For B'nai Mitzvah and confirmands, young teachers of this holy congregation, ours to cherish and guide with love. For beloved wives and husbands, sisters and brothers, for loyal friends who grow more precious with each passing year. For this community which nourishes us all. For all we've learned, for all we've struggled through, for challenges surmounted and disappointments met with courage, for last moments shared with those we loved and lost, for parents and grandparents whose memories are with us forever. We lift this cup for the year that is gone, for the year that begins. May we meet it with strength and unity and hope. We lift life's cup and celebrate survival. So may we sanctify each day that is ours. Invite us to rise in body or spirit for Kiddush on page 79 and then quickly on to page 80. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'am v'romamanu mikol ha'ashon v'kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu b'yava et yom hazikaron hazeh yom trua mikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu bacharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim udvarcha emet ve'kayam lad Baruch atah Adonai melech kol haaretz mekadesh Yisrael ve'yom hazikaron Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shecheanu v'kiyemanu v'hegianu lazman hazeh.
Amen.
Chaim,
Chaim.
please be seated. Everyone except for one very important person, who I'm very honored to welcome up, our co-president, Ronald Klausner. And Ron, I don't know if you need well, actually it's grape juice. I was going to offer you some courage here, but I think you've got it in spades. And my gratitude to you and our co-president, Alan Levitt, for all of the hard work that you do week in, week out, day in, day out, for making this community what it is. So, Ron, you're the rabbi now. Take over. There we go.
Oh, I feel you. L'Shana Tova, a happy and a healthy new year to everyone. The new year 5783 looks to be a wonderful one. The windows have finally been installed in our sanctuary and our new education center. It will only be a few more months before we return home. Although our 2-year absence has seemed like an eternity, we have been fortunate enough to have been able to use the facilities of Whalers Church for services, school, and offices. So let's celebrate everything that we have shared together this past year. We prayed together both in person and online. We learned the hybrid model works, and we will continue to live stream services for those unable to attend in person and for those who prefer to pray at home. Thank you, Rabbi Dan, our former cantor Lauren, and current cantor Kevin, and Matt for making that happen. Also, thank you to our caretakers, Bob and Josie Getling, for supporting us with in-person services, moving and storage, and almost everything else we do. We celebrated Jewish holidays together. Hopefully, with COVID dissipating, we will be able to gather in person even more so. Our Hebrew school continued to thrive. Thanks to Shelley Lichtenstein and her faculty, we have a vibrant hybrid school, both preparing students for B'nai Mitzvahs and sharing experiences together post-B'nai Mitzvah. Rabbi Dan continued to provide superb pastoral services for congregants in need. We attended many cultural activities coordinated by Toby Spitz. We had scholarly lectures and book talks. We visited museums and cultural sites, both in person and online. We attended theater productions and other programs, both here and in New York City. Our beloved temple administrator, Eileen, organized many episodes of Film Shul, which highlighted Jews in the movie business. She also coordinated our second annual Havdalah cruise so many of you enjoyed. We held programs in science and Judaism thanks to a grant secured by Stephen Rosen. We have more science and Judaism to come. Our summer Shabbaton with Cantor Jill Abramson from the Hebrew Union College Center for Jewish Music was a tremendous success thanks to Ruth Joseph, Leah Oppenheimer, and Margaret Bromberg, who co-chaired its committee. In fact, the Hebrew Union College has agreed to provide speakers to our congregation every summer going forward, thanks to our members John Golden and Mark Bitterman helping to make that happen. We have held a monthly book group led by Ruth Joseph to discuss Jewish issues of importance and relevance. The Women's Rosh Chodesh group, under the stewardship of Marilyn Zaretsky and Ellen Ruby, continued to hold monthly services and study. Health professionals from our congregation met to discuss medical issues of common concern, led by Benzie Tepper. Our cemetery ran without problems, thanks to Howard Schwatzky, who oversaw its operations, as well as so many operations of our temple. The caring program, led by Gail Gambino, continued to help care for those among us who were sick and those in mourning. The Jewish Humor Group, chaired by Steve Rosen and his wife Cecilia Paul, kept us laughing in spite of everything. Our temple board operated seamlessly, holding monthly meetings, dealing with all aspects of temple management, including COVID protocols, high holiday preparation, and other issues as they arose. Thank you so much to Janet Grossman, who memorialized our meetings as board secretary. We continued to hold Niddah Mitzvah every Monday, where Andrea Fagan led the group making items for those in need. It can get pretty cold out here during the winter without hats, gloves, and scarves. Our Social Justice Committee, chaired by Alyssa Peak and Andrea Klausner, continued to help those outside our congregation who are in food, shelter, and other crises. They have also created a subcommittee called The Road Forward, chaired by Sherry Littman, who provided post-high school scholarships to seniors within our congregation, as well as needy students outside the congregation. We've learned about anti-Semitism and how, through education and other means, we can try to eliminate this scourge, thanks to the committee led by Lauren Tepper and Julie Tatkan-Kent. Our new education center will soon be completed. Needless to say, this would not have happened without the vision of Ronald and Joe Carroll Lauder. I would also like to give a huge thank you to Richard Hemley, who has been working tirelessly to supervise construction of the project, and Marilyn Zaretsky, who not only supervised our packing and moving, but who also chairs the Interior Furnishings Committee. These have been monumental tasks. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the capital campaign headed by our former president, Neil Fagan, and assisted by Sherry Rosenblatt and Rona Klopman. Thank you so much to all who have made contributions to date. As you know, Eileen Moskowitz, our temple administrator for the past 13 years, will be retiring the end of December. We all owe her a debt of gratitude for all she has done for us. It will be hard finding her successor. Nevertheless, our search committee, headed by Gail Gambino, has already selected a new executive director, Shelley Lichtenstein, who will not only take on some of Eileen's responsibilities, but will also continue to be the principal of our Hebrew school. The committee is currently seeking an office manager to take on the balance of Eileen's responsibilities. Finally, I'd like to thank my co-president, Alan Levitt, whom I speak with almost daily about temple affairs and whose sage advice makes me look good. As you can see, we have been very active in spite of the pandemic and occupying temporary quarters. Temple Adas Israel has and will continue to play a very important part in each of our lives, providing a spiritual and ritual home in these trying times when even our most basic values seem to be questioned. Unfortunately, programs and staff require financial support. Our dues cover less than 50% of our budget. The balance comes from your contributions. We want to continue to maintain our high level of programming and spiritual comfort. With your help, we can do that. So let's make 5783 even better than 5782. Please donate generously to our High Holiday campaign. You may do so by sending in a check in envelopes provided in your masors, or by clicking on the donate button on our website. Thank you. Be safe, be healthy. Happy New Year.
Welcome Cantor Kevin back up to the bima. Oh, got that. And we will turn back in our machzors, our prayer books, to page 82, and we'll rise in body or spirit for Aleinu, again, page 82.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך
Page
הוא.
84.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
The light of life is a finite flame. Like our sacred candles, life is kindled. It burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades. Its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full, but as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are seen no more. And yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. I invite those in mourning, those observing yahrzeit, to please remain standing. Everyone else may be seated at this time. We think first of those who have passed in our community in recent months: Martin Blake, Lynn Cowan, Faith Diskin, Linda Donath, Arlene Eber, Jay Fagan, Ellen Frank, Chaim Bear Greenwald, Gerald Hirsch, Mark Joseph, Jane Beard Cass, Gertrude Katz, Buddy Kossoff, Helene Krotman, Emmanuel Kiprios, Leo Leibowitz, David Lieberman, William Lippman, Sandra Tromberg Luongo, Norma Paulsek, Lillian Schwartz, David Sent, Anita Sheldon, Alan Silver, Larry Wartor, Miriam Weinfeld, Peter Weinstein, Rita Weitzman, and Matthew Adam Zimmerman. We also mark the yahrzeits that occurred during this week for Dr. Paul Abrams, Miles Ambrose, Margaret Benjamin, Jerome Bloom, Joseph Barak, Yvonne Cohen, Judy Friedman, Terry Friedman, Nathan Galpern, Ben Gauze, Joan Gilbert, Georgette Huberman, Esther Cosberg, May Levine, Vilma Levine, Paula Nelson, Gary Nussbaum, Bertus Oglensky, Fanny Peskowitz, Bernard Rodetsky, Rona Rube, Clara Simon, Rose Slutsky, Ernestine Spitz, Katie Spitz, John Strong, and Shira Zealot. In addition to the names that we just read aloud, for anyone else who is saying Kaddish for a name not mentioned, I invite you to certainly hold your loved ones in your heart and invite those watching at home to add the names of their loved ones as well. And I'll ask the mourners to join with me now on page 90. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'alam u'le'amei almai. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha barichu. Le'ela u'le'ela mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. And together we say, Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. We're now on page 92.
אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני, אותה אבקש. אחת שאלתי מאת אדוני, אותה אבקש. שבתי בבית אדוני כל ימי חיי, לחזות בנועם בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו. לחזות בנועם בנועם אדוני, ולבקר בהיכלו.
Again, a Lashana Tova to all of us here tonight, those watching at home as well. Just a few quick announcements before we close our service for the evening. Reminder again that services begin at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning here at the Old Whalers Church in the sanctuary. Thank you to everybody again who brought their entrance cards with you to help get in the building. Thank you especially to our ushers who helped again to organize and to make all of this work. And again, we need your help throughout the holidays, so please, if you have your entrance card, put it somewhere safe tonight when you go to sleep. Grab it again when you come in first thing tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get everybody inside the building safely and easily. Just a reminder again, we also have a family service and a teen service tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. The family service will be located on the front lawn of the Whalers Church, open to all. The teen service will be just around the side of the building. I forget which side, but we'll follow. Wherever you find Cantor Kevin, that's where you're going to go. And again, that is open to all. The only thing we ask, especially for the family service on the front lawn, please bring folding chairs or a blanket to sit on or something of your own. We'll have a few chairs on hand, but we could really use that help. And then a reminder that our services will end in time for all of us to get over to Havens Beach, just a few minutes away from us right here, for Tashlich and for a sounding of the shofar for anybody who did not get a chance to hear it earlier in the services. And a reminder, of course, that second day Rosh Hashanah begins at 10 o'clock on Tuesday morning as well. We are still looking for a couple helpers, ushers for a second day, so if you're planning on being here and you can give us just a few minutes at the beginning of the service, would be really appreciated. And you can find Shelley Lichtenstein on your way out and let her know. And just a reminder, all the details for Yom Kippur are on our website. Hopefully you all have it, including in your booklets that I think you have in front of you as well. So we welcome everybody. We hope that you'll be able to join us throughout the holiday in one form or the other. Also, just a request, if you came in and there were books on the chair as you walked in, please leave them exactly where you found them. It'll make all of our lives a lot easier. We really appreciate it. And on your way out the door, please remember that the Social Justice Committee is conducting, once again, a food drive for the Sag Harbor Food Pantry, which is located here in the Old Whalers Church itself. And so what we're asking is for you to take one of the shopping bags, if you're with us here tonight, being provided to you and handed out as you're leaving. Included in that, with that bag is a list of needed items. Please actually go off the list as much as possible. That's what we know is really needed. And just a reminder that at any point, really, we're hoping that you can bring it back for Yom Kippur if you're planning to come. But if you're not going to be here for Yom Kippur, you can still participate. There will be opportunities throughout the time in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur to be able to bring those donations by. And so again, we appreciate very much the hard work of the Social Justice Committee to organize, and to all of you for participating. We know very much, especially now that we share space, how needed the food pantry is in Sag Harbor. It may not occur to all of us on a regular basis, but there is real serious need in our community. And by participating in this act, it is one of the great acts of tikkun, of repairing what is very much still a broken world. So I hope that you will all find a way to participate. And if getting to the store and buying on your own is tough, you can also make a donation to the Social Justice Committee, and we will then be able to purchase additional pieces as well. I want to thank again, really all of you for being with us tonight, all of you who are watching at home. Still much to come, and we're looking forward to it, and we're going to get Cantor Kevin to sleep and Kirsten to sleep so they can rest up for tomorrow for sure. Before we do that, we will rise again in body or spirit for a closing reading on page 98. Again, page 98, if I can ask your indulgence to read responsively, yours are the parts where it indents in the English, again on page 98. Our God and God of all generations before us, may it be your will in the coming year to grant us a year of abundance and atonement.
A year of blessings bestowed and received.
A year of community and compassion.
A year of delight and exaltation.
A year of enlightenment.
A year of friendship and forgiveness.
A year of going up in gladness to the land of Israel.
A year of health and healing and humor.
A year of inner strength and well-being.
A year of joy and Jewish celebration.
A year of knowledge and learning for its own sake.
a year of love between parents and children, friends and spouses, brothers and sisters.
A year of mitzvot and moments of sweetness, a year of nature protected and enjoyed.
A year of optimism and hope, a year of peace pursued with perseverance.
A year of quiet and tranquility.
A year of rain in its season.
A year of song and spiritual growth.
A year of Torah study and tikkun olam.
A year of understanding and unity.
A year of vows fulfilled and violence overcome.
A year of wisdom acquired and shared.
A year of coexistence among the families of the earth.
A year of young and old reaching out to one another.
A year of Zion aglow with light for us and all the world.
Our God and God of the generations before us, grant us a year of gratitude to you for the most profound of blessings, your gift of life. Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu shetechadesh aleinu shana tova u'metuka. Our God and God of our ancestors, eternal God of all generations, may your presence in our lives this new year renew our spirits and renew our strength. May it be a good year, may it be a sweet year. L'shana tova techatevu ve'techatemu. May you all be inscribed and sealed for a good year. Shana tova.
Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Eilecha, V'nashuva, Chadesh, Chadesh, Yameinu kekedem. Chadesh, Chadesh, Yameinu kekedem.
It's great. We're like, okay, we figured it out. We got together. We both were on the same page. But that's working. And like my nerves at the beginning, I could hear it. I was like, oh boy. But I settled myself. So, thanks again. You know, once I got into it, I was like, okay, we're good. We're here. Yeah. Great. You guys again tomorrow? Do you know what time it starts tomorrow? I'm sure he said. I can double check. For another year, for the night. How you been? But I'm not 100% sure. So, I'll double check with Ian one way or the other, or I can send you a text as well when I double check it. It's online anyway, so I'll look it up. If I don't know, yeah. Okay. So then, I was running that right now. Sneak into the back and I'll pull it up on the website. Yeah, I also think it's September, but I wouldn't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah, I would assume the same. So, exactly. Behind me on my nice. You work with someone new, okay, we got it. We're good. Immediately. half hour before, I guess. That works for you, that way we can like maybe run one thing, and maybe not. Yeah, half hour. Great, see you then.
The opening thing. Yeah, wasn't that brilliant? Yeah, no, I have it here. Give me one. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Writing something and something there resonated with me.
If this was the one you were talking about, I don't know. And if not, it'd be great. Great. Thank you. Look, I mean, it was